Welcome back, and we are moving into our second conversation for today, as we're happy to have with us the winner of a recent essay competition. Her name is Geniva Lambey, and she won an essay competition talking about women in maritime areas, and we'll find out all about the work that went into it with her. She's a fourth form student of SEA. Good morning.
Good morning.
And welcome.
Thank you.
Now, Geniva, let's just find out a little bit about you first. So you're how old, studying what?
I'm 15. I'm taking science as a major at St. Catherine's Academy.
Mm-hmm. You're taking sciences because you see yourself having a career in science?
I saw myself having a career in science, but as going in time, yeah.
Mm-hmm. What do you want to do?
I want to be a marine engineer.
Wow. So physics has to be the number one subject there.
Yes, sir.
And how do you feel about physics?
I'm gonna grow to like it.
I love that answer. Geniva, you submitted an essay into this particular competition. I just want to find out what prompted you to do so.
Well, the school announced that the school announced the essay competition. I really have to thank them for that because I wouldn't be here if they didn't. And I looked at the paper and it was Women in Maritime and I had no idea what that was, but I wanted to find out more about it, and that's what led me to write the essay.
Okay, so why did that particular topic interest you?
Because I'm a female and women in maritime, and I was still looking at what I wanted to be in life. So Women in Maritime inspired me to say, well, let me see if this is something that I want to do.
Mm-hmm.
I'm interested to see, when the school announced it, how many of your other peers looked at it, or how many of them just kind of like, what was the interest like when it was announced at the school?
I don't think it was most people weren't very interested because obviously they didn't know what it was, but because I didn't know what it was, I wanted to find out more about it as well. So,
do you normally enter essay competitions?
No, ma'am.
Was this the first time?
Yes, ma'am.
This is the first time you entered into this competition and you won on a topic you didn't know much about?
Yes.
Wow, so that means there's a whole lot of passion in this essay. So what about your discovery process, your research process? What really triggered your interest and got you so excited to put together this piece?
Because the topic that I chose was empowerment of women, and so I was like, what's empowerment of women? Let me search it up. And it's women that have done so much for the maritime sector. They have led it to be that other women can join the sector, and so I wanted to be one of those ladies that encourage other girls to join the sector.
Now, let's talk about women empowerment a little. You go to an all-girls school, and I'm sure that at SCA there is a appreciation of and a discouraging of any kind of challenges to being a female. Once you're female, you can do anything. Do you think this is an important topic? Do you think the issue of women empowerment is an important topic? And why?
Of course, it's an important topic. Women are a nice amount of the population. We honestly give birth, and we make the population. And so if women don't have jobs to
sustain the family.
Then how can we lift up society?
I saw something in your essay and I found it very interesting. You spoke of women leaving the sector because they've been kept at one level for too long. Tell us about this that you found out and what you felt when you read that.
Women have the same qualifications as men, but because they're men, they get to rise up in the sector while women don't, and that was very interesting to me. It's very harsh because if we have the same qualifications, why are we not able to sustain higher development in the sector?
Now, Kevin's right. You're at an all-girls school, so you really only see success and failure from other women or other girls. When you read something like that, how does it make you feel?
Well, being a female, it is very kind of sad because it's just sad.
Yeah. Did you know that happens in professional sectors?
No, because I am only surrounded by women, so it's just empowerment of girls.
In doing your essay, to follow up on what Marlene had asked you, you did, I'm sure Google surely, you had a lot of Google there. But did you speak to women at school? Did you go to different people? Maybe you have a mentor and spoke to them about writing the essay and their views on it? How much of it is in addition to just paper research as well as speaking to people, maybe your aunt or other people?
Well, I do speak to women on a daily basis, so I didn't go exactly to them regarding the topic, but due to speaking to them on a daily basis, I more understand what they go through.
So, what are some of the other issues that came out in your research that you had to take the opportunity to include in this essay?
The fact that they think women can't do jobs because they don't have manpower. Because
Like physical power?
Yes.
Okay.
But that's not really necessary because of the advancement in technology where different tools are made that women can use it rather than having to have manpower. And instead of needing manpower, they need the intellect because they need to know how to work the machines or the machines will replace them.
Yeah. And what else? I saw something about sexual harassment as well.
Females probably don't have the strength to back off the males who have who sexually harass them, and so that is one of the reasons why they leave instead of fighting for themselves.
You were going through this information, you're sitting down, reading all these things, you're there while your friends are talking about Housewives of Atlanta, you're there thinking about doing your essay. Can you tell me what was the most interesting point that you came across that you probably did not include in your essay? And secondly, when you're reading all of this thing, who do you blame for the inequity? Who do you think is at fault? Interesting. Well, here it is.
Well, I do blame the family because in past times, families didn't allow women to be in jobs. They preferred them to be at home and being housewives. And it's been really hard for society to improve from there and move from that way of thinking that women are only meant for housewife jobs rather than bread-making jobs. So.
And the families are being reared, unfortunately, nowadays by women. So is it indirectly you're saying that the women are sort of to blame for the position that we're in?
The women are never to blame.
Good answer.
Moving on. I think one of the things that is very key in the essay that you spoke about, it's an empowerment essay, but you focused on the recognized challenges that you saw. Now, like any good writing, you kind of have to round it all out into something positive. What made you hopeful that now you want to pursue a career as a woman in the Maritime area?
The fact that the women who empowered me, the women that inspired me, because they had to go through all of these things and they've made it easier for more women to go into the sector without having to go through all of these difficulties. And that's why I call them empowered women. So.
Did you speak to any professional women who are in the field?
No, but I did meet a nice amount of them at the conference.
I was going to say, so you presented your essay at the conference itself. Who did you meet? Who was inspiring, and what were your thoughts after that?
Well, I did meet the second place winner, Carrie, who she's already going to the university that I'm supposed to go to, and I was just like, wow, she looks really smart, and I think I'll do very good at the university. And
professional women that you met?
I didn't get a chance to speak with them too much.
Oh, so you only observed. The essay competition is now awarding you a scholarship. What are the details of that?
I have the scholarship, but I need to get into the school first.
What school do you want to go to?
Caribbean Maritime University in Jamaica.
Wow.
That's awesome. So you're set. This is what you want to do now. You from an essay competition, you've created your career path. Okay, so now your friends at school, they see you won the competition, you're telling them directly, okay, this is why this is a big deal. This is why we need more women in maritime areas. What do you say to them?
I won't say much to them because they already know what they want to do in life, and there's not much that I can change from that. But I do have to thank them for being there, supporting me in everything that I do, especially my family as well. Yeah. They help me to improve in so many ways because they're very intelligent, and I strive to be as intelligent as them.
Yeah. Who helped you in putting together the essay?
My uncle Nicholas, he's a teacher at St. Joseph.
Okay. Did you have, in your editing process, things that you really didn't want to let go of, but you had to? Points that you wanted to make sure everybody who read it would hear and understand?
I wanted to enforce more how much the women have to go through to become a professional in the maritime sector, but I just left it at what I left it at.
Why was that? Explain that more.
Word count.
No, I mean, why did you want yeah.
2 words, word count.
I love that.
Yes. I couldn't.
But of course, why did you want to, what kind of stresses, what kind of challenges are you talking about there that you didn't get to include?
The fact that they have to work harder, and sometimes working harder doesn't get them anywhere. And the fact that sometimes when they do work harder, they aren't shown the gratitude of working harder.
Mm-hmm. Are they compensated equally?
Not all the time.
Where'd you get this research from?
Google.
Is there like an institute that does studies on women in maritime areas or maritime professions?
International Maritime Organization.
Yeah.
Like with any marginalized group, whether it was black people or whether or not it's immigrants, there's always challenges breaking into a new area. Even a business, if you have a business and you try to go into a new market, you want to have challenges. How much of the challenges that you researched about that women go through probably are just the natural part of trying to break a barrier, and how much of it is just, too much?
Well, first, when women started to enter the maritime sector, a lot of challenges came about, but as time progresses, it gets a lot easier because there are more women introduced into the sector, and so they can't be as gender biased.
And you're very young.
15 years old.
15 years old. But you're at that point where you're starting to look at things from you have the benefit of having a scientific eye to things, which is better than a lot of people have. How do you think young people will drive and change, either speed up or slow down? How do you think your generation will either speed up or slow down the issue of allowing women to break these barriers and to be empowered? Do you think it's going to speed up?
I do think
And
it's
why?
going to speed up because I have been in my class with my classmates for a while, and they're very, very intelligent girls, and we are the future leaders, and we are going to make a difference in society sooner or later.
Interesting. Yeah. Marlene is waiting for me to ask you this question. So, when you're looking at young ladies going forward, surely the approach of young men is important, because those are the persons who you will be your colleagues no matter what, and those are the persons who you're competing for on another level. How do you think the balance is between empowerment of young women and women on a whole in the maritime area, as well as the relationship that these two genders have to both go up? It's a human race. What do you think is the balance between empowerment and progress?
Well, of course, we need our male counterparts wherever we are, and God made man and woman, so of course we can get along, and they do help to empower women because they are right behind the women that need the help. So men are helpful, but women can be more helpful.
Now, what has been the response? We know your school is very proud of you. I saw your mom in the control room, in the waiting room. She's very proud of you. How surprised were you when you found out that you won the competition?
Well, I was actually in physics class when they told me, so coming out of a really rough day in physics class, it was an amazing feeling to hear that I won.
Yeah. Did you have, did you go in very confident, submit it very confidently?
No, I wanted to hope for the best.
Okay.
Did you get the opportunity to read the second place essay? Aren't you curious to know what other people wrote, or you just were confident in what you wrote?
Of course, I would like to read what other people wrote, but I didn't get her contact information in time, so.
Okay.
And looking forward to the scholarship, what do you look forward to most? Not being in Belize, or the challenge of being focused on what you want to be in the future and taking that first step towards that direction?
Well, I try to think to what I have to work for before I do have to get into the school first, so I'm not
Happen,
trying
man.
to worry about any of that
happen.
yet.
You trust me. That'll
My
happen.
grandma said not to be too full of yourself because like those boxers on TV that like, I'm gonna beat them, I'm gonna beat
that
them,
they
and end up
lose.
losing. I don't want to be like that, so.
It's gonna happen. Though. It's called law of attraction too. If you believe something, it happens. So there's a balance to it.
Yeah. So you have to get into the school and then you have a full scholarship for it. Nice. Is there anyone you want to thank? Any message you want to share? You know, it's a great achievement in being able to win the essay competition and the scholarship by extension. Who do you want to say thanks to?
I want to say thanks to my family, my friends, of course my classmates, everyone that supports me in everything that I do.
Yeah.
And of course I would like to say it is good to work hard, and when you think you've worked hard enough, just work a little bit more.
Sounds like a yearbook quote there. Geniva, talk to the women who are in the maritime areas right now. You've done all this work looking at what their life is like, what challenges they face. What would you say to them as an up-and-coming professional, a future professional in their very same field?
Thank you for making a change in the maritime sector, because without you, we would still be going through hardships entering the maritime sector.
Okay. Thank you very much for being here.
Thank you.
All right, best of luck. Once again, young, bright mind in Belize, winner of the Women in Maritime Essay Competition, fourth former Geniva Lambey of St. Catherine Academy. We want to say thank you for coming in and best of luck. And without being full of yourself, we'd like to say that we really do believe and have confidence in you.
Absolutely.
That you will get into the school and be an excellent professional in this area. All right, we're going to go ahead and take a break, and when we come back, we'll be joined by Belize to talk about their October promotions. So stay tuned.